Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray, and we are here to jump into episode 4 of my stand-in. So, I've got a new battery charger for my camera. It's now working, and I'm ready to get back into filming. Last episode, what happened last episode? I guess they kind of started dating, but it's a very kind of tenuous dating. It feels very tenuous. Like, he can see that, when I say he, Ming can see that Joe is into him and loves him, and he enjoys his company. But I still feel like there's some distance there, and he's still kind of lingering on this crush he's had on, what is his name? Tong, I think? Whatever. The other guy. His years-long crush or whatever, based off of a one action scene he saw in a movie, and he fell in love with this man's back. But the reality is that that was not his back. That was Joe's back. Joe has been his stuntman for years, for pretty much all of his movies. So anytime there's an action scene, that's not him, that's Joe. So the fact that he is so hung up on this one movie scene is killing me, because it's like, if he just took 10 seconds to think it through, then he would understand that that's not him, that's Joe. It's killing me, y'all. Anyway, I'm ready to get into episode 4. Let's see where it goes. We still haven't caught back up fully to the present, but I'm thinking it's going to happen this episode or next episode, so we'll see. All right, let's get into the episode.
ไอ้เหี้ยมึงเคยคิดถึงทีมงานตามเขาบ้างบอกวะเขาไม่ได้มีเงินจากพรีเซนเตอร์เหมือนมึงด้วยพี่เป้าใจเย็นนะพี่คือผมเข้าใจทั้งสองฝ่ายนะ
I don't understand them both. I understand the director, because he has been bullshitting his way through this fucking whole shoot. I actually still don't even know if this is a movie or a show. I think it's a movie, but either way, this man has been bullshitting his way through this entire shoot. We're on episode 4, and I have not seen a responsible moment from him when it comes to his work ethic. Like, to be honest, everybody is carrying the weight of this production, and that includes the director, the stunt team, includes obviously Joe and his co-workers, his co-stars. Everybody has been bending over backwards to make accommodations for this man, being late to work all the time, missing shoots, asking them to swap in the understudy to play scenes that he should be doing. Like, constant. That is the one constant thing that we know about this man, is that he is irresponsible at work. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm with them. You deciding to get married and then deciding to schedule your wedding in the middle of your movie shoot, that's some bullshit. Put that shit on the weekend. Like, I don't know. Whatever. But you didn't have to make your wedding that date. You just didn't. You knew that there is no way in the world he didn't know what his shooting schedule was. There's no way in the world, because they planned that shit months ahead.
ฉะนั้นวิธีที่ดีที่สุดเรามาช่วยกันคิดแก้ปัญหาไหม
ไอ้โจ
Ooh, put him on the spot.
ตัวแทน
He really has been working overtime on this movie. Do we think that the snap during his stunt was an accident or on purpose? Because they are kind of setting the stage for Tong to have sabotaged him. Do we think that this show is going to pivot into Tong as a murderer? I guess is the question. And the answer that I have is I'm not sure. There's enough of a serious tone to everything. I mean, people have died in this show. Like, literally. So there's enough of a tone there that they could pivot into that. Now, I don't think we're going to have like a whole murder mystery, but they could have something where it's revealed that actually he sabotaged the stunt. But then it's like, all right, do we have enough time to deal with that? And we're only on episode 4 of what I presume to be a 12 episode series, which means that, you know, we have another 8 episodes to go. There's enough time to do a subplot of who killed Joe subplot, something like that. All you gotta do is the moment that we catch up to the present is, hey, there was an investigation into your accident and there was some suspicious activity around the stunt, whatever, and that'll kick it off, you know. But anyway, because they have been making a case for Tong being shadier than he seems. Let's just say that. Let's keep going.
แต่เรื่องนี้กูจะดัน
เดี๋ยวนะยังไงวะเนี่ยมันเกี่ยวกับเรื่องที่บ้านเขาปะ
ก็ด้วยนะพี่แต่ว่าหลักๆแล้วก็
Is he gonna say the truth?
เขาคบกับผมเพราะว่าผมเป็นตัวแทนของพี่ตง
Oof, messy.
เอ้ยนี่ใช่ไหมมึงถึงดื้อจะเล่นหนังเรื่องนี้ให้ได้เนี่ย
Yeah, to prove that he's on the same level
ผม
as
แค่ให้คน
Tong.
อื่นรู้ว่าอะไรที่พี่ตงทำได้ผมก็ทำได้เหมือนกัน
He ain't special.
แต่ว่ากูดีใจนะมึงได้หลุดพ้นมาจากคนแบบนั้นไง
แต่จริงๆคือผมก็ยังไม่ได้เคลียร์เขาหรอกพี่ผมออกจากบ้านมาก่อน
I know. Because like he's like, ooh, we broke up. And I was like, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Because you literally have not had a conversation with him about breaking up. You're not broken up yet.
ก็เลยมาอยู่ที่บ้านพี่นี่แหละ
อย่าไปซีเรียสชนดื่มกันเดี๋ยวทุกอย่างมันก็ผ่านไป
I totally misjudged this man, by the way. I remember in the beginning of this series, I was like, this man is sus. They seem like they don't have a good relationship. All that. Completely misjudged this man. Anyway, let's keep going.
ไอ้ห่าไม่ทันขาดคำมึงรีบไปเคลียร์เรื่องนี้ให้เรียบร้อยเลยนะโจวันมะรืนนี้เขาจะแถลงข่าวหนังใหม่อยู่แล้วเนี่ยอย่าให้อะไรมารบกวนสมาธิมึงพี่จะกลับเมื่อไหร่อ่ะ
พี่ลองหมิงเก็บของไปก่อนแล้วเดี๋ยวพี่ค่อยกลับ
อะไรนะ
Messy. Breaking up with him over the phone instead of face to face is kind of messed up. Like, all right, we can have listen. Ming has been treating this man like shit this entire time, so I respect him wanting to break up with him. But doing so like this, messy. Messy. They're both very messy. Like, you could have just sat there earlier today at breakfast and said, listen, this is what happened last night. You called me by Tong's name. Pretty much now understand that the reason that you were dating me is because I'm his stand-in. And I can't accept that. I can't live like that. So I'm going to go to work and I need you out of the house by the time I get back. He could have just said that shit. And he didn't. But I think he would have... I wonder if he didn't want to have that conversation face to face because he felt like if he was looking at him, he would fold. I'm thinking maybe he would have folded if he tried to have this conversation right in front of me.
ของมาจากบ้านพี่เดือนละหมิง
พี่กล้าไล่ผมเหรอ
100%. Yes.
นี่คือพี่ไล่ผมเหรอ
ก็ได้ยินชัดแล้วนี่
Ooh, say why? This is what I mean. Why are you so messy? Like, say why. Like, so that he understands exactly how much he's at fault, not just you. You know, this isn't just you. This isn't a whim. Yeah, here we go.
พี่คิดว่าจะหนีผมพ้นเหรอ นี่มันเรื่องส่วนตัวผม พี่อย่าไปยุ่งนะ
พี่ก็ไม่ได้อยากยุ่งหรอกหมิง
You involved him. Hold up. Don't be like that, Ming. Stop trying to pretend like you are separating your feelings from Tong from your relationship with Ming. Don't even. Because the only reason you started dating this man is because his back reminds you of Tong's, when actually it doesn't. You don't even want to face the fact that his back doesn't remind you of Tong's. His back reminds him of himself because, again, the person you fell in love with at first sight or whatever was actually Joe.
ให้มันจบอ่ะเก็บของไปจากบ้านพี่ได้แล้ว
Yeah, he deserves better. And this is some bullshit.
พี่ไม่มีสิทธิ์มาสั่งผมสั่งให้พี่กลับบ้านพี่ก็ต้องกลับ
What? That's my home.
มึงนั่นแหละกลับไป
At least he's rich, so a fight between them is not gonna hit as badly. Oh my god, and now he fucked up his back. Oh, not his little punches. Sorry, let's go back and watch them. Cause what?
มึงเสือกอะไรอ่ะฮะ
I need... I mean, this fight is goofy as hell, but like these punches are funny as hell. And he's like a trained stuntman previously, so obviously he knows how to fight better. Oh, no, not the dick, not the dick punch. Also, you were wildin' when you were holding Joe up against the wall talking about, when I say come home, you come home. The fuck? Who the fuck are you? You're living in my house. You are living in my house, man. I cannot. Like, that was some rich person shit to say. Like, get the fuck
เรื่อง
out.
นี้มันยังไม่จบ
Yeah, I bet. Here we go. Yeah, he was on some other shit saying that to him. I'm actually kind of pissed that he tried to say that shit to him.
พี่ช่วยลืมทุกอย่างแล้วกลับไปเป็นเหมือนเดิมได้ไหมอ่ะ
No.
ก่อนหน้านี้เราก็มีความสุขกันดีไม่ใช่หรอ
Were we?
มีความสุขกันดีเหรอ
The way I'm so in tune with Joe, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm dying here.
ใช่เหรอ ถ้าเกิดว่ามีความสุขกันดีเนี่ยมิงจะคิดถึงคนอื่น ตอนที่เรามีอะไรกันทำไม
Right? Why you always want to bang from behind,
ขอ
huh?
โทษ
Huh? Explain that. Answer that
ข
question.
อโทษ
มิงไม่ผิดหรอก พี่อะผิดเอง พี่ไม่รู้ว่าตัวเองเป็นแค่สแตนด์อิน
I bet you better believe that every time they have sex after this, because we all know that they're gonna get back together. But every time that they have sex after this, it better be from the front, motherfucker. Cause what? What?
พอได้ไปงานนี้ พี่จะไม่ยอมให้สแตนด์อินมาแย่งงานพี่
This is some shady shit.
ตราบใดที่ผมยังอยู่ เขาจะไม่ได้ไปไหนแน่นอน
Right in front of this man? Yo. You're gonna have to do so much to make up to this man and to prove that you actually love him after this. Because what? You're gonna mess up his bag? What? Did he just knock him out? This is crazy. Why is everything so over the top? Wait, you know what? I take back what I said earlier. This is the show that would pivot into Tong as a murderer. Actually, we just... I cannot believe he just knocked him out. What is happening, y'all? This is kidnapping. He fully kidnapped this man. He missed the conference. So his career was ruined. And he was forced to take the unlicensed job just to make ends meet. and then he died. Oh, bro. Yeah, that's on Ming. That's his fault 100%. He kidnapped this man. This is crazy, y'all. Like, what?
ดีด้วยนะครับทุกอย่างเรียบร้อยดีไหม
Fuck both of them. Both of them.
ผมจะทำอะไรล่ะ
The answer is yes.
เย็นๆก่อนดิพี่ผมมาแสดงความยินดีเฉยๆอ่ะ
Just evil. Some evil shit, y'all. He in here reading a book.
หมิง
ยังไงผมก็ไม่ปล่อยพี่ไปไหนทั้งนั้นแหละ
ว่าตอนนี้สิ่งที่พี่ต้องการที่สุดมันก็คือหมิงนะ
This is messy as hell, y'all. With him chained up. And not in a sexy way, in a really terrible, abusive way, by the way. Like, if y'all was into this, we could have had a talk about it. We could have had a negotiation. But that's fucked up.
พี่แค่อยากกอดหมิงอะ
Now, is he gonna fall for this? Like, okay, listen. Is he gonna fall for this? Because this is very obvious, at least to me, that he's trying to get him to unchain him. But, is it obvious to Ming? Or is Ming all caught up in his own, you know, I don't know, obsession?
วันนี้พี่ขออยู่ข้างหลังแทนหมิงได้ไหม
Oh, are you down for some switch action? For some verse action?
หรือว่าหมิงยังเห็นพี่เป็นตัวแทนพี่ตรงอยู่
How far are you willing to go to prove that you're not a psycho? Although, frankly, for me, or are we knocking him out after that? What are we doing? Or are we just saying, you know what? The conference is done. I ain't gonna make it. Let's just fuck one last time before I leave. All right, is that what we're doing? Or are we about to knock him out and chain him up? Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
ที่เดือดร้อนคือมึง
Right? That was a crime, sir. You really should report it to the
เขาใส่
police,
ชื่อมึงไว้ในบัญชี
frankly.
ดำแล้ว
Yeah, now he's got blackballed. I wanted Tong to be blackballed after this production. Now it's him blackballed.
ไม่มีบริษัทไหนอ่ะกล้าจ้างงานมึงแล้วเนี่ย
คุณหมิงคุณหมิง
หลบไป
I need
พี่วุฒิ
him
อยู่ไหน
to go to therapy.
ทำเหี้ยอะไรกันวะเนี่ย
Go to therapy, sir.
พี่โจอยู่ไหน
Putting his hands on everybody.
กูก็อยากรู้เหมือนกันว่าตอนนี้มันอยู่ไหน
แต่นานเท่าไหร่ผมก็จะรอนะพี่
Definitely we didn't hear this conversation the first time around, but
ทำอาหารอร่อยๆรอพี่กลับมากินด้วยกันนะ พี่โจ ถ้าพี่กลับมาหาผมอะ
this is very obsessive.
Yeah.
Like, we need to have a conversation about how obsessive you are, sir. Ooh,
ฮัลโหล
it's done.
ฮัลโหลหมิง ฮัลโหล
Oh yeah, and from his side, he probably thinks he just hung up on him. Ooh, and then he died. Minutes after this. Oof. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you are at fault. I take back everything I said earlier in this series. This is 100%, well, it's 90% Ming's fault and 10% Tong. Is it 50-50? Do we consider it 50-50? Tong Ming's fault for this. Yeah, no wonder he has fucking heart palpitations whenever he sees this man after the bullshit that he just went through. I'm so happy that he has somebody in this life that he didn't have in his previous one. Because he was very isolated. I know he had Wood, but Wood is also his boss.
มันเพิ่งฟื้นตัวนะลูกค่อยๆปรับตัว
แล้วก็กลายเป็นลูกเขยมหาเศรษฐี
Hey, they're married now. Got it. All right, and now he's a celebrity, so you can actually look him up. You can look up Ming, sir, if you want.
เวลานี้
I mean, he's gorgeous. He'll certainly make a living.
ไม่เคยมีตัวตน
Yep.
พ่อแม่ผมตายตั้งแต่ยังเด็ก ญาติพี่น้องผมก็ไม่มี
He just
และ
didn't
อีก
have
ไม่นาน
anybody.
ทุกคนก็คงจะลืมโจคนเก่า
Not no searches on Google. Yeah, he's probably living there. Come on, he's obsessed with you. If he's not living there, he at least bought this place and kept it exactly the same. Of course he's still living there. Right after you guys broke up and had like the worst fight, and then he, you know, you lost your job, you then went out, got a new job, and then died. He would never be able to forget that. Hopefully. You know. Sorry. I'm sorry. But none of this is really making up for the fact that he kidnapped him. Like, what was that?
จะนานเท่าไหร่ผมก็จะรอนะพี่
It's gonna be a while and a lot of
รอพี่อยู่ที่บ้านหลังนี้
apologies for me to
ทำ
turn
อาหารอร่อยๆรอ
around
พี่กลับมากินด้วยกันนะ
after this pivot. Woo! Run away. Is his back going to remind you of Joe? He's gonna see him from behind or something? Oh no, he ran into the, okay, underneath. I thought he was gonna see him walking away and be like, oh, that back reminds me of something, and then flash back to Joe's back. That would have been goofy as hell, but it would have been funny. Like this man just being obsessed with backs. Anyway, I genuinely was not expecting him to go full-on misery with this man and lock him up in his living room, in his little whatever, his bachelor pad. I don't know. Was that his home? I can't remember the design inside. If that was like where his mom was staying. I mean, where his mom and his sister lived. I can't remember. But either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I was not expecting that. Genuinely took me by surprise. I'm not going to say that it feels out of character, because it actually doesn't. He's actually been very entitled this entire time up until now. So it actually does not surprise me that he would take it this far, actually. Maybe not the kidnapping, maybe not the full-on kidnapping, but being more, showing himself to be more controlling and obsessive. Sure, that feels very in character. I think the whole like knocking him out and then chaining him in the room, that was like, okay, we're that far off the hinge, I guess. Like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, so I guess I just wasn't expecting it. But it does make sense in terms of why Joe was pushed into taking that unlicensed job. And it's simply because he literally lost everything and then got blacklisted from the industry. and his only recourse was to start taking dangerous jobs, where he could still be a stuntman, which is literally, as he said, the only thing that he knows how to do, apparently. And so he just, started taking risks there. It's unfortunate for him that literally his first risk, his first scene on an unlicensed movie, he died. This man didn't even get to do like a series of movies or like go through a handful of productions and try and make it work, or nah, he died first movie, first scene that he did a stunt for. Whew, a mess. So now we've caught up to the present, and now we know the other side of the conversation that Joe was having on the cliff before his phone died. And obviously we know that Ming feels bad, like he's not heartless, I guess. He just needs therapy. He just needs to go see somebody and talk through his issues and figure out a healthier way to express himself and to exert control over his own life. Like, because the way that he's doing it, which is through like obsessive control over others, as well as violence against others, that's not a good idea. That's bad. It's not just unhealthy, it's criminal. Like, if Joe hadn't died in that stunt, he could have pressed charges against this man. I mean, it probably wouldn't have gone anywhere because this man is uber rich, but, I'm just saying that he would have had a case to press charges against this man. Just saying. Anyway, so we've skipped forward 2 years and everybody has kind of moved into a new phase of their lives. We have, Tong has married to May. He went on to have a really, successful movie and has blown up in stardom even more. We have we have Seoul going back to Korea to continue his K-pop career. He only occasionally comes back to Thailand. I mean, I imagine we're gonna see him again. I know I mentioned earlier, I was like, oh man, I wonder if he was only here for just this one episode of La Yada Yada Yada. And then I watched the intro again and I saw him in the intro and I was like, oh, of course, he's like one of the main characters of the series. That was on me. That was on me not paying attention to the intro as much as I should have. Even though I totally watched it. But yeah, I just did not notice that he was like absolutely, like one of the second male leads or whatever. Obviously we have two main leads who are both male, but you know what I mean. Secondary leads. But anyway, so I imagine there's going to be some reason for him to come back to Thailand again after 2 years away or something like that. Maybe for another movie. I mean, it would gag if he had to do a movie with Ming. Imagine if they had to play lovers in a movie. Oh my god, y'all. That would be so funny. Because they hate each other's guts. I know. And I know that he blames Ming for Joe's death. And he would be right. Because low-key, this is kind of Ming's fault. Low-key, high-key. Now, let's get back to that debate. Do we think Tong has more culpability for what happened, or Ming? Or do we think that Ming has all of it? I think that they share culpability because Tong's bitter ass didn't need to, ask it. First of all, he didn't need to be a piece of shit coworker in the first place. But he also didn't need to be a snake and then call up Joe's boyfriend, who's his friend, and get him to basically sabotage Joe's career. Like, he did that shit. So he definitely has some culpability. It's not zero. But do we think more of the onus lies on Ming or on Tong, or do they share it equal? Because I think in the beginning I was like, oh, 90-10, Ming Tong. But now I'm thinking, I don't know, I've had some time to sit as the episode continued, and I'm thinking 50-50. Like, they have equal parts responsibility for what happened, personally. Yeah, I'm gonna say 50-50. Both of them need to be taught a lesson. Yeah, fuck them both. All right, so how are we going to get from where we are after everything that just happened in this episode? How are we going to get from where we are to them working it out now with Joe in a new body? Obviously, for Ming, he's still remembering Joe, but now he has another Joe to replace the Joe that he used to replace Tong? What are we going to talk about that? Is he going to be using this man as a stand-in for Joe now? Because I kind of feel like that's the reason that they named them the same. Like the writer didn't need to name the two Joes both Joe. I think the explicit reason that they did that was because they're gonna have him play a stand-in for himself with Ming after playing a stand-in for Tong, Ming's previous crush. Like, are we gonna get a period of time where, or is it just going to be like genuine from Ming's side, but because of everything that happened, Joe is just going to feel deeply insecure about the relationship, that, maybe he is still trying to use me as a stand-in and like have his guard up and have his wall up. We might get that for a while. And I genuinely don't know what Ming could do to convince Joe that he actually loves him and isn't still hung up on Tong or hung up on previous Joe, which is the current Joe. Oh, I guess that's also a question. Do we think that Joe is going to reveal that he really is Joe and not new Joe? And how is he going to explain it? I guess he could explain it by literally talking to him about, stuff that only he would know about their relationship, something like that. But yeah, it has to be. If they do decide to reveal, then he'll have to like prove it by just saying something very intimate about them. But personally, I just think that Ming needs to prove that he can actually fall in love and love this man truly before Joe confirms for him that he's actually JoJo. Like, I feel like he kind of low-key, high-key doesn't deserve Joe. And he certainly doesn't deserve to know that Joe is still alive and assuage his guilt. He doesn't deserve that yet. So he's going to have to earn his way to that reveal, me personally. Because he treated this man like garbage this entire 4 episodes that we've been watching this show so far. Absolute trash. He doesn't deserve this man right now. And I need him to prove that he deserves it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I think that's everything I want to say for this episode. I'll go ahead and leave it there. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Going over to Patreon if you're interested in full length. If not, stay here because I'm releasing another one next week. I'll see you guys then. Bye.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever, but you long gone, it don't matter.